Okay, so Jagex just dropped the Bronzeman mode bomb on us. They gave us the blog. They said, "Hey, this thing's pretty much ready. You guys want it?" And surprise, surprise, the community has basically like exploded. Most of this hate has been around the Unbound Bronzeman mode, not the main one, but also I don't know. There's just so much back and forth, so much crap about this. I've got, I think, a unique take on this and a unique perspective that this is the first time I've ever felt compelled to record myself yapping like this about RuneScape. But yeah, here I am, and I think this is worth talking about. I'd love to get this idea out there. First off, who am I? My name's Lenny. Go by Euler. There you go, Lenny Euler. This is my like main quote-unquote account, although it's an Ironman account. I enjoy playing Ironman for a bunch of reasons. Maybe we'll get into that. Maybe we won't. I've also got an actual main alt and a group Ironman that I play with some IRL people. That's like 45 defense. I've been playing RuneScape since 2001, since Classic. I love the game. Yeah. I think what I know I'm particularly uniquely positioned and good at with respect to RuneScape actually has nothing to do with the playing the game itself. A stat that I find particularly impressive for myself, maybe my proudest achievement, I've successfully invited multiple people I've met in real life to play old school RuneScape who have never played RuneScape before and have onboarded their experience thoughtfully enough where they've actually stuck around. I've texted a number of these friends. I've done some math. This is a pretty conservative number because I haven't been able to talk to everybody, and not everybody's actively playing still, even though they put in hundreds, if not thousands of hours before taking breaks. But like, if you add up the time played of all the people that I've invited to play RuneScape and who have actually played the game and stuck around, that number is over 10,000. Like I'm proud to say that I'm responsible for over 10,000 hours of gameplay in this game by inviting people that have never played RuneScape before. So they're not coming for nostalgia. They're coming because I gave them an argument as why this is a good game, why it aligned with their interests and the things that they like to play, and I kind of curated their onboarding experience. I've been doing this since like 2017, trying to get people into RuneScape, and I do it just because I love the game, and I think other people will love it too. So how does this relate to Bronzeman? As a player with, 6,000 something hours played on this account, probably over 10,000 hours played across all my accounts. I haven't done that math. And as the people on Reddit talking and the people on Twitter talking, Bronzeman mode is not for us. It's not an Ironman mode. It's not a game mode about restriction. I think that we are handicapping this conversation by calling it Ironman Light, Diet Iron. This is not an Ironman mode. This is an alternative way of playing a main. And I think that's a fantastic thing. And I think that we should be framing it that way. We shouldn't even be calling it Bronzeman as far as I'm concerned, because I think that immediately puts the Ironman game mode. And Bronzeman mode, like, a new player to the game is gonna be like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, Ironman mode is already takes an explanation, but it kind of, I don't know, like Ironman standing alone, Ironman races, doing all the different disciplines yourself. I don't know, there's like some cohesion between the name of Ironman mode and the idea of like playing the game self-sufficiently, but Bronzeman mode, what the fuck? No. Like, this was a fun way to communicate that it's like similar to Iron, but I actually don't think that that's helpful. I think it's reductive. I think that if this mode gets added to the game and it gets added as Bronzeman mode, and also a new player comes in here, they finish Tutorial Island, they talk to Foe, and they look at this, and Bronzeman is another one of these options, nobody's playing that. Bronzeman mode is a dead game mode if that happens. That ends up being like, I think that the criticisms that the community has given Bronzeman mode as it's been presented would be valid if that was how the game mode was presented to new players, because nobody would play it. It would be more akin to the Booger Helm. That's my take. What I think instead should happen, and I think I'm eager for a game mode like this to come into the game. I think that I'm very eager for this game mode to come into the game. I think that if we add this game mode correctly, it could be the reason why RuneScape becomes the biggest MMO in the world in the next 10 years. I know that's a crazy statement. I think I can back that up. I think I could convince you of the same idea here. That's why I'm making this video. I think it's important. I think it's very important that we add this game mode and that we do it correctly. So let's not call it Bronzeman mode. I'm gonna, for the sake of this conversation, I know this isn't like a good name, but I'm just gonna disconnect. I'm gonna practice what I preach. I want to disconnect from Ironman mode. I'm just gonna call it a progression-based account, or like classic progression account. I don't know. That's what I'm gonna go with. The idea of RuneScape as a old school MMO to a new player that could be coming to this game and enjoying Gielinor and becoming a lifelong RuneScape player like we are, like the people that are watching this video. The idea of being able to come to an MMO where microtransactions can't buy, like microtransactions, like, yeah, somebody can buy some bonds, they can get their wallet up, but you still need to earn the stuff. But also, hey, listen, like this idea of like being self-sufficient, like that's irrelevant. We're not asking you to do this Iron Man thing. You don't even need to know what Iron Man is. The ask of like, hey, come to this cool game. We have this classic MMO that has more of an old style progression. There's grinds in it. You get to learn how to do hard things. You get drops that are meaningful to your account progression. That is like the crux of like why RuneScape is so juicy and delicious. And I think adding a progression-based account mode where you get the items in your inventory and then it unlocks it and you can trade it on the GE is like, could become, and maybe should become, the canonical experience for new players joining the game. In Mad Season's why OSRS hooked me after 20 years of World of Warcraft, he pulls up this quote. I actually wasn't able to find the original quote, but this is from Wrath Koster? I don't know. Anyways, MMO designer, Star Wars Galaxies guy, stated that like the purpose of an MMO is to extract advancement from an online world. And thinking about it that way is, I think, a really good way. As you can see, like Mad Season has become a lifelong OSRS player after transitioning from 20 years of World of Warcraft, and his ethos is in line with this. And so I think it's a good framing, even if you don't agree with this statement. It's a good framing of saying like the allure of old school RuneScape is like people that feel like this is true would like this old school MMO feel that old school RuneScape has. So in that flavor, or in that like thought process, having these like progression based accounts, what does it do? It makes it so that that feeling of like going and grinding a boss or an activity to get a particular drop that unlocks something for your account, and for the rest of your account it is unlocked for you. Like, what a good feeling. That's what RuneScape's about. Like, you level up, you know, your achievements are never devalued. You know, if you get 99 woodcutting, it's 99 forever. If you unlock the ability to do something, you get to do it forever. It's bringing that feeling to item acquiring in the main game mode. That is what this progression-based account is. It's adding more of a sense of structured, enforced by the mechanics of the game, progression to the main game mode. I know that there's a bunch of people that are like, oh, if you want to go be a clog hunter, like if you want, use the plugin, whatever. Like, I get it. Sure, why not? But also, like, the whole point of making game mechanics and like coding stuff into the game is to legitimize it. Like, the reason we have Ironman mode isn't like it's because we were helping to give a legitimacy to the advancement that people are getting out of the game. We often think of Ironman as like a clout-based game mode, like being able to show off your achievements that you did this, did that. I did all this. It's like restrictive. It's hard mode RuneScape or whatever. Like, and then there's like this like, oh, which accounts are better than others? Like red helms look down on gray helms, and gray helms look down on blue helms, and everybody looks down on green helms. Like, first of all, that's cringe. Quit it. Everybody's playing the game the way they want to play it. Stop that. You're being dumb. But like, the point of these systems is to legitimize the advancement that a player can get out of the game. It's the same reason why microtransactions cheapen the experience of other MMOs. If there's a way to get the drop or get the item by pulling out your credit card instead of playing the game, it devalues the advancement. So yeah, like having a main game mode where somebody also feels invited by the, not their own volition, but invited by the game mechanics themselves to go off and fight each of the bosses at least once. Like, oh man, I would like a dragon pickaxe. Do I want to play a self-sufficient game mode? No. Do I want to feel like I earned a dragon pickaxe by like going to a wieldy boss? Man, that's such a great feeling. Like, that feeling of advancement is a drug. It's so good. It's why RuneScape is awesome, in my opinion. And there, I would say that there's more people, not talking about people that play RuneScape today, but people like that would be ever interested in playing an MMO or could ever be interested in RuneScape. There's more people that find that sense of advancement more rewarding if they go kill the boss, as opposed to if they were to grind GP for it. I do believe in that statement. One of the people that chimed in on this whole thing is No Monkey. I actually, like, there's a lot of stuff that I outright agree with No Monkey on. One thing that we both agree on is like the idea of this menu being bloated as hell and like, ugh, like, yeah, again, if Bronzeman is an option in here, then we're all screwed and this game mode's dead in the water. If it is instead just given to players as like an option, an encouraged option to like start their account as a main with these progression based like restrictions, I actually think that that's an incredibly strong idea. But one thing that No Monkey gets into, it's funny because like No Monkey's talking about like the reason people quit Iron is because of the grinds, not because of the supply upkeep. And then the first real life example that No Monkey gives in his video is Sardako, who was tempted to make a main when going for the Inferno grind, not because, and the Inferno isn't something you could buy, it's because of the supply upkeep. Like, Sardako wanted to pursue the challenges, wanted grinds, but also didn't want to feel restricted by what he could play on any given day based on like how many prayer potions were in his bank. It's such a valid like criticism of Iron Man. I play Iron Man. I love the self-sufficient nature of it. Like, I'm not going to change that. Yeah, I'm out here fishing my anglers. By the way, fishing boat update. Great update. But I, like, to a new player, back to me inviting people to play the game. We need something that gives a more of a sense of like account progression with item drops than main does, but is not asking so much of the player as Iron Man is. I have invited people that have played a main, not found it compelling enough, and like the idea of Iron Man, and so then they make an Iron Man, but then they do drop off because they're like, well, I don't really want to do this farming thing. Like I want the feeling of getting a dragon pickaxe from a boss, but like prayer potions, like why would I don't like I'm restricted by what I get to do because I haven't mined enough amethyst for my amethyst arrows today. Like that feeling of restriction is what this progression based account, like, again, like I just think that if we're thinking about these progression based accounts, it's not about restrictions, it's about achievement, it's about advancement, it's about like codifying this progression ladder that we have implicit to mains, explicit to irons, but like Iron Man mode is a mode about restriction. It's a mode about like being a hard ass and I don't know, being slightly masochistic, I suppose. Yeah, I think I've gotten everything out of my brain. To recap, Bronzeman mode or something like it, I think would be like the canonical best way to play RuneScape for new players coming to this game. I think if we're able to advertise that this is an MMO where you have to get drops for yourself, without forcing players to be Ironmen, I think that actually like so many people that don't play RuneScape would love that. I think it would be a huge draw to our game. I think it could be or the canonical way to play RuneScape for the first time. Yeah, it enriches the main experience, in my opinion, without restricting it too much, without fucking it up. Yeah, so with regards to this poll, no, dude, like it's crazy. This is such an important thing to add to the game, and to rip it on a whim and pull it immediately is like wild to me. I'm tempted to vote no personally to this poll because I think it should be given more thought. I don't think it should be equated to Iron Man in any way, shape, or form. I think we're being reductive when we do that. Yeah, this just hurts to read to me. Yeah, I think that's all my thoughts. I want this game mode. It shouldn't be a reference to Iron Mode in any way, shape, or form. It's about adding a sense of achievement as opposed to adding restrictions. And if we do this right, it could become like a cornerstone of inviting new players to our game. That's my ramble. I literally can't edit this video. I don't know how to do that. It's been years since I've touched video editing. But yeah, if you listen to this, thanks. Have a good one. I'd love to chat more about this in the comments or, yeah, whatever. Cool. Love y'all. Have a good day.